Hi Isabella, how are you?
Hello.
Wait until someone else joins us. Give me a moment, please. I'm gonna share my screen. Okay. So let's do a quick review. Of the listening part. Okay. Thank you. Okay. So you can either get 3 or 4 lectures. No, if you get 4, you got an extra one, and score one in the listening. However, you're always going to get 6 questions per each lecture. No. In the conversation, you're going to get 5 questions per each conversation. Today, we're going to listen to a conversation, okay? And you get 2 if you don't get the score 1, no? 3 lectures and 2 conversations. And if you get the score 1, you will get 4 conversations. The amount of questions, the total questions, is going to depend if you get the score 1 or no, right? Usually you're not going to listen any slangs either in the conversations. So I'm going to take the opportunity to remind you guys if you could check the page of Executive English to get Anki. Did you guys? Oh, sorry. Did you guys download Anki?
I did meet.
All right, great. So was it hard or easy for you, Caroline?
It was easy.
All right, great. So it doesn't take that much, no? And the good thing is that you're going to learn many new words that you have a high chance that you're going to listen, especially. And what about you, Isabella? Do you have Anki?
I couldn't download it yet.
Okay, no worries. So whenever you have the opportunity, you can download it on your computer or also on your cell phone. So it's a very good way to practice whenever you have some time free. No? Okay, so let's go back and let's really quick review some of the important information that we've seen last class. So the total time is going to be 41 minutes, considering that you don't get the score 1. No? So the time for instructions is going to be about 3.5 minutes. The time for the lecture and audio tracks is around 21 minutes for both of them. And the time for answering questions, you have to manage it, obviously. It's 16.5 minutes. It might not seem like a lot, but it is. So usually take 30 seconds, 40 seconds tops to answer each question. In the one that you can listen one more time, you can take a little bit more time there, but don't get stuck, no? And you cannot go back. So you respond and you continue. You cannot go back like in the reading. Okay, let's really quick take a look to the type of questions. The first type of question is a main idea. It's always the first question. We've seen an example really quick the last class. Again, it's always the first question. Sorry guys, I think I got an allergy. Okay, so what is the main topic of the conversation? It's an example of a question. What does the professor mainly discuss? You can also get that. No, but it's always the first question, so it's easy to recognize it, no? What's the main purpose? No, but it's always trying to find out what is the main idea, basically, no? Either for the conversation or for the lecture. No, it's always going to sound a little bit like this. And obviously the main idea is stated at the beginning of the conversation or lecture. So right after you start listening, you have to pay attention to what they mention, because you're going to get the answer for the first question. All right? Any questions so far? All right, that's good. Second type of question, function type of question. It's basically you have to respond why the professor is mentioning this or saying this, and in this case you can get to listen this one more time. You have to understand the context of the conversation, and you also have to go back and check your notes. In that way you can have the information to respond. No, so why does the professor is saying this? No, in function you always get to listen and extract of the audio. Okay, organization. And so basically here you have to pay attention of how it's organized. Usually in the lecture it might be easier to get it, no? So you have to pay attention, you take a look to your notes to find the answer, no? And that's all. That's the second type of question. Questions? All right. Next. Hi, Roger. How are you? We're taking a quick review.
Hi, Miss. Good afternoon.
Okay. Next type of question, attitude and inference. The attitude type of question, it's quite easy to recognize it, because it's going to ask you like what's their opinion or the attitude towards the topic. But we have to pay attention, because it's attitude, we have to pay attention of how is that said, no? And what is the maybe the voice tone, no? What is the context of the conversation? And we have to try to go to the speaker's head to try to understand the attitude, the way that they are speaking, or the how they are saying or expressing their opinion or mentioning the content, no, if it's the lecture. And inference type of question, well, we have to basically try to figure it out, information that is not being said, no, that's inference. So usually you're going to get the word, no? That's why it's easy to recognize it. What can be inferred, or what can be implied, or in the case of the conversation, what the student will probably do, or which of the following is most likely to happen. No, in the lecture, it's going to ask you like what can be inferred or what is implied without being said. In the case of the conversation, it's going to ask you what is going to happen next. No, what the student will probably do, or what is mostly likely to happen next. All right. In both cases, that's what it means, inference. And here you have to use your logic to respond this, and don't jump ahead of the conversation given to you. Not try to understand the logic of the question. Do not get tricked. No, because we know the test is always going to try to trick us. So try to understand what they are saying, or what they are asking, and think and respond. No, do not get too stuck in this question either. So that's inference. Also, it's important that you read the question carefully and just answer according of what you have been asked to respond. No, don't try to jump ahead and maybe try to give like a bigger response, or maybe like too detailed response. No, you have to pay attention to the question. And they could mention topics or detail from early or late in the recording. However, they do that to trick you. And don't get, sorry, it's typo, don't get triggered by other key worms. Check your notes. So they might mention some words that might make you think that that's the correct response or answer. However, it's important that you check your notes to make sure that it's the response is correct. No, if it's too good, it's probably not the correct question. Okay, so always try to avoid falling the wrong detail trap. They do that all the time in all the sections. So that's all. Okay, guys, any questions? All right, so for Roger and Fabiola that just joined us, a reminder, guys, and a question too, could you download Anki? Roger, could you download Anki?
Miss, can you send us the link again, please?
Sure. I'm sending it through the chat. So it's in the page of Executive English Education in part number 3. Okay, so it's in Apoyo Académico, and you got it right there at the beginning. What about you, Fabiola? Did you download Anki? Fabiola, are you there? Please turn on your camera.
Miss, which one of the texts do I have to download?
You have to check the tutorials. They're going to teach you how to.
Okay.
We watched this last class, and here it's going to teach you how to create an account, and here is going to teach you how to download the flashcards. Okay, so you have to watch both of the videos. They're not very long. I think it's 2 minutes and 4 maybe, and the flashcards are here. No, but I will advise you guys to download number 1, 2, 3, 4. It's also good for the speaking, especially. 6, it depends of your level. 7 also, it really depends of your English level. And probably 8 too. No, I will consider maybe 6 and 7 if you are not too familiarized with the topic, countable and non-countable nouns. But if you already are, there's no. But number 8, yes, I will advise you to download that. Okay, guys, so let's see how we can register for the TOEFL. I've already mentioned this last class. Did anyone download it? Sorry, did anyone register or create an account? No? All right. So let me share. You get the link on the chat, so you can click on it and you can go through the steps with me. So basically here what we're going to learn to do, if you already haven't done it, is create an account, learn how to select and create a location for the test, and well, some information after you take the TOEFL. What else? The cost fee for the TOEFL is $185. It's always safe to pay with a credit card or debit card through the page. And when and where to expect the results. Where you will get an email to view your scores on your ETS account. So you're going to get like a notice email, but you have to go to your ETS account. So that's why it's important that you have access to the email, that the one that you use to create your account, no? And when it might take days to a week, but in some cases it might take 3 days, 4 days. No, it doesn't really take that much to get the result. All right, so that's all. Any questions? I'm going to share my screen. All right, let's do this quite fast. It's not really that complicated. I already mentioned this. So we got here, click iniciar sesión, registrarse. The page is always a little bit slow. It might depend on the time, it might depend on your internet connection, but it's not as fast as you must think. Okay, so take the time to use it, to also register your information. No, it's not something that you're going to do in 2 minutes. No, it might take a little bit. Like you see before, like you see right now, it's usually like that. It takes a little bit. Okay, let me try in another Explorer. It might be faster in Safari. 1 second. See, sometimes it's just the internet. Don't. Okay, Safari may be working fast. Okay, let's take a look, please. Did anyone create an account? No, Carolina, no, Fabiola, Roger, Isabella, you probably have an account, no?
I just have created one.
I do.
All right. So, okay, finally we got it. So I already told you, explain a little bit about this. It's not really that complicated. You click here on create an account, and then you're going to be sent to this page, and you basically are going to fill all your information. So take the time to do it carefully. You obviously guys understand English quite well. So here I will advise you to just write your first name and here your last name. Then all the information here. Now it's your phone. If you want to get some emails or text messages. But besides this, in the second part, in additional information, they're going to ask you about your English level, your experience a little bit, like why you want to go overseas to study, like where, like exactly, no, like why you are taking the TOEFL basics. Here is search service. I believe they're going to offer some ebooks, and then you have here the last part for the to write your username and your password. You have to have access to your emails. It's important. Double check that this is correct. And at the end, you're going to get a review and submit information. So basically, you're going to get all the information that you wrote in once, and you're going to get all of it. So you scroll all the way down, and then you go like sign in, and that's all. After that, you're going to get an email. What is the email? The email address that you're going to write here is the one that they're going to send you the conversation login. Then you click on the email, and then you're gonna go back here. And here, see, it should be my account. And then you just log in. Now you write here your username, and then your password, and then your PIN. All right, it was in my other. So that's my username as my password, and with that information, I sign in, not in the main page. So I click sign in. Let me close the other one because it really takes a little bit. Right, so stay on page, leave page. Okay. So here it's quite easy to know. You might have a lot of information here. You can check if you want to. However, you can just click here, register, and find the test center. Another one in blue. You click on it, and you basically choose which one you're going to take. The IBT. It's the IBT. The IBT is the internet-based test. The other one, pay attention to it. So you click IBT, and then you choose if you want to take it in a test center or at home. Like I explained before, the home edition is just a temporary option to take the TOEFL. It started when the pandemic didn't let people out, not because it was dangerous. So it's probably not going to be available for too long, especially now with the vaccine. So I will take that opportunity. Okay. Okay, guys, please turn your cameras on. So let's see the difference between test center and home center, or home edition. So if you click on test center, here you have to write your city. Now I'm going to write mine. And then here you click the time, July, August. But for a test center, you might have to look a little bit ahead, because if you click too close to the actual date, you might not get any available dates. Let's see. Let's click here. No seats available. So we check August, and then we are getting the available ones. We are getting an available on October. 2 in October, at least in my city, no? In November, I have 2. Okay, so here I have a Friday, Saturday, and 2 Saturdays. So I don't have many options, right? So for example, if I click here, it's going to tell me where I can take it. This is the IB, I believe. So I can go and take it here. No, that's all. But I don't have too many options. No, and the time is also going to be assigned by them. And by the way, the price is always the same, no, $185. Let's go and check the home edition. Okay, if we click to home edition, we're going to get May. Well, you're going to see. Let's check. I'm going to leave it July and August. So I have one available for July. In the case that I need to take the TOEFL soon. Like, what day is today? It's 29th. I have it in 2 days. Maybe the tests are not all of them available. No, let's take a look here. Oh, sorry, change it too fast. Let's make it a little bit. But it's not the same as taking it in a center. We're going to see a little bit better. Okay, so for instance, let's click here, I don't know, August 21st. See the times. I can take it at any time. So that's very convenient, no? Because I don't have to adjust my agenda to the centers. So I can just pick any time that is available for me, no? So I will advise you guys to take the home edition, and then choose a time that is good for you. You choose the time, and then you get like here the information, not the time zone, date, no, and then I can continue, register. Any questions so far? It's not that complicated, no? It's quite easy actually, it's quite fast. Okay, so once I decided what day, what time I'm going to take it, I continue, and then I'm going to fill some information so I can pay at some point. No, I have to pay the $185. So here, I think this is not really important. They're asking you about, or they're giving you some information for to pay. You here just acknowledge, understand the terms. If you want to read it, you can, but it's not necessary. Okay, here you have to fill your information. So it's important that you fill your information with an ID that you can get. I don't have my ID close, but in your ID you should have your picture and your name next to it. That's important. So in the case that maybe your ID, well, I said this for Isabella, you already are here, no? But if it will be in another page or on the other side, maybe you can use your passport, no, or any other ID. But it's important that your picture and your name is there. So basically, you just choose your country. Let's do this really quickly. Your ID, and then you go next. Again, you're always going to get your information in case you need to edit it or something, that something changed, maybe your phone number. No, it's always like that. Next. And here they're going to ask you a little bit about the reasons why you're taking the TOEFL. If you live, at some point, oh, sorry, where do you want to study? No, you can select 5 countries. Your age, your level of study, what's your next level of study, what is your desired field of study, when you are rolling on this scholarship, no, if you are studying abroad, how much time do you spend studying English, know your English learning experience, how much time you have attended to school, where you were taught English, and if you have ever lived in a country where English was the main language. All right, so I fill this with my information. Some of them is accurate, some of them I just made it up. So we click next. No, after you fill this, you go next, and then this is important because if you already know what universities you're applying to, they're probably, or they will have to send you a receipt or a code. So the score after you take the TOEFL, for example, you got 90, and they ask you for 85. No, you are above that. You would like to have this information sent. No, you can choose 5. Oh no, sorry, 4 scores, for freely scores to be sent to 4 different colleges. No, however, if you don't write the code here before you take the TOEFL, you're gonna have to pay afterwards. Okay, Isabella, yes. Any questions?
I don't have any questions.
All right. So, es importante, aquí lo voy a decir en castellano para que se entienda. Como muchos ya tienen en mente, ¿no? Alguna institución a la que quieran aplicar, ¿no es cierto? Una beca, un estudio en el extranjero. Entonces, si no les han pasado un código, porque ya se han debido comunicar con ellos de alguna manera, o deberían, tienen que poner aquí el código para que les manden, para que ustedes puedan a través de la página del ETS, que se mande esta información de del examen, la nota del examen directamente a ellos. Pueden poner hasta 4 códigos de 4 diferentes instituciones para que se manden gratis, pero eso lo tienen que registrar ahora antes de pagar el TOEFL. Si yo, digamos, decido no poner ningún código aquí porque de repente digo, bueno, no estoy completamente segura si voy a pasar el TOEFL como nota que necesito, lamentablemente después de que tomen el TOEFL se les va a cobrar por cada vez que manden el TOEFL, porque no es, digamos, ya tengo el score, le saco un screenshot y mando, no. La información que se va a mandar a la universidad a la que están aplicando para este scholarship tiene que ser desde el ETS. Entonces, eso es decisión de cada uno, ¿no? Si ustedes tal vez no están seguros o no quieren tal vez que vean su nota la primera vez, no sé, eso tienen que decidir ustedes, no lo pongan. Pero yo les recomendaría que sí, al final ustedes pueden tomar varios exámenes. Entonces, pero esa es decisión de cada uno, ¿no? Pero consideren eso, que si aquí ustedes no ponen el código de la universidad a la que están aplicando, ustedes cuando tengan el resultado y de pronto sí es la nota que ustedes querían o es la nota que necesitaban, perdón, van a tener que pagar. Y si no estoy mal es 15 o 20 dólares por cada vez que mandan extra, no aparte de estos 185. Entonces eso para tomar en cuenta. Y aquí escogen, ¿no? Pueden poner score and report, no pay. Si quieren que se les mande, ¿no? En papel igual, verifiquen que la dirección esté bien o si solo por correo. Luego le dan clic en next. Y aquí otra vez la información, ¿no? You have the information to review one more time. And you continue, you go next. Y aquí siempre se les ofrece, ¿no? Son packs para que estudien y demás. Pueden o no comprar algo, ya depende de ustedes. Pueden revisar, pero obviamente todos tienen un costo. Que es 25, 23. ¿No? Luego next. Sí, se ve bien. Okay. So here we basically have all the information. ¿No? And it's basically the next step is check out, basically. And here you have to, well, I'm not sure if you will get a promotion code. No, pero otra vez tienes la información. I agree to the terms. And basically ahora ya es pagar directamente y pueden poner la información. Y bueno, puede tomar un momento hasta que cargue. Sin embargo, ahí ya termina, ¿no? Porque cada uno va a llenar con la información de su tarjeta, ¿no? Antes era 180, subió 5 dólares. Y ahí tú escoges, ¿no? Y bueno, ya luego ya continúan. Y tienen que llenar su información, revisan bien y bueno, ya. Process payment y that's all. Esta parte es bastante rápida. Así que eso sería, no sé si hay alguna pregunta. Any questions?
Yes, teacher, I have a question.
Yes.
It's how long does take that to deliver the scores?
It really depends. It's not, you don't get like an exact time for each person, no? But it could take, I think the last time I took it, took it like a week, but with a colleague, it took it 3 days. He got the score in 3 days. So it might take that. It doesn't take longer than that. No, maybe a week, but no more than that. No, it could take even 3-4 days minimum.
Okay.
Okay, great. Now let's practice another
Listen to a conversation.
Sorry. Let's take a look I'm going to share my screen so you can see. Okay. So guys, you can start preparing. Go get a piece of paper, pen. We're going to listen, in this case, to a conversation. Okay, in the listening. All right. So you will get something like that. The instruction goes like this. Fabiola, could you read this, please?
Listen to the part of a conversation between a student and an employee at the campus theater.
All right, great. So now let's listen to this conversation. Let's take notes. We're going to listen twice, and then we're going to share our notes in the WhatsApp group, okay? So is everyone ready? Please let me know if you need more time. Fabiola, Carolina, Roger, are you ready? Yes? Okay.
Yes, Miss.
Okay, thank you guys. So let's start.
Listen to a conversation between a student and an employee at the campus theater.
Hello, are you the scheduling administrator for the Agatha Theater building?
Yes, that's right. How can I help you?
Oh, good. I've been running around trying to find the right person, so it's a relief to have finally found you. Can you tell me what the best way would be for me to book the main theater for a play that I'm producing?
Now, hold on. Let's start from the beginning. Tell me a little bit about this play. What is it about?
Oh, sure. We're working on a stage version of the movie A Few Good Men, starring Tom Cruise. The movie's one of my favorites, but the stage version is really exciting too. The dialogue is excellent, and we've been fortunate enough to have cast some of the best student actors on campus.
Well, it sounds like a worthy play for our theater then. It's a great movie, so I'd love to see a stage performance myself. So, to the important question, what dates are you considering?
Actually, we want, because we'd really like to present our play at Agatha, we're totally open as to the dates. Any available weekend in February or March would work.
I don't hear that enough. Let's see. I think I can fit it in on the weekend of March 3rd through the 5th. How does that work?
That's perfect. It'd give us enough time to rehearse without pushing the performance dates too late into the month and bumping up against spring break.
That was easy enough then. Now we just have to iron out the details.
Sure. What else do you need to know? We're only at the beginning stages of working out, like props and things, but maybe we can make a plan for when I can give you whatever else you need to know.
Yes, that'd be just fine. We have some time to plan everything out before the spring. It's only October after all.
So what information can I give you now?
Well, even if you're not positive about all of the props, do you have a rough idea of how elaborate your set will be? Will you need lots of stairs, extra levels, or the like?
Oh, that's a good question. So far, I think the answer is no. We have a very simple set in mind. We want to focus on the content of the dialogue. It's pretty dense.
Right, I remember that from the movie. But anyway, that'll make planning easier if we don't have to worry too much about extra work to get the set ready. And, how many actors will there be altogether?
Oh, a lot. We'll have a total of 43, I think. Oh, but don't worry, there won't be more than about 20 on stage at once. In fact, there are only a few scenes with anywhere near even that many people on the same stage. Those are the scenes in the courtroom where there has to be a jury of 12 people.
Mm-hmm. This sounds like it'll be interesting. The numbers shouldn't cause a problem. The stage is definitely big enough to host that many actors at a time.
Actually, now that I think of it, I have a question for you.
Shoot.
I know that we'll need to use the real stage for rehearsals for a few days before we put on the play. So, could we use Agatha a few days before our performance dates?
Oh, naturally. You'll be able to use the stage from the Monday before the first show onward, so that should give you about 1 week. Then, on the Sunday after your last show, you'll just need to clean up and get all of your play materials out, off the stage.
That's great. We'll clean up after ourselves, no problem. Thank you so much for your help and all the information.
My pleasure. We'll speak again soon.
Till then.
All right, guys. So let's listen one more time. Then we're going to share our notes, and then we're going to respond the questions. Okay? So let's see this one more time, please.
Listen to a conversation between a student and an employee at the campus theater.
Hello, are you the scheduling administrator for the Agatha Theater building?
Yes, that's right. How can I help you?
Oh, good. I've been running around trying to find the right person, so it's a relief to have finally found you. Can you tell me what the best way would be for me to book the main theater for a play that I'm producing?
Now, hold on. Let's start from the beginning. Tell me a little bit about this play. What is it about?
Oh, sure. We're working on a stage version of the movie A Few Good Men, starring Tom Cruise. The movie's one of my favorites, but the stage version is really exciting too. The dialogue is excellent, and we've been fortunate enough to have cast some of the best student actors on campus.
Well, it sounds like a worthy play for our theater then. It's a great movie, so I'd love to see a stage performance myself. So, to the important question, what dates are you considering?
Actually, we want, because we'd really like to present our play at Agatha, we're totally open as to the dates. Any available weekend in February or March would work.
I don't hear that enough. Let's see. I think I can fit it in on the weekend of March 3rd through the 5th. How does that work?
That's perfect. It'd give us enough time to rehearse without pushing the performance dates too late into the month and bumping up against spring break.
That was easy enough then. Now we just have to iron out the details.
Sure. What else do you need to know? We're only at the beginning stages of working out, like props and things, but maybe we can make a plan for when I can give you whatever else you need to know.
Yes, that'd be just fine. We have some time to plan everything out before the spring. It's only October after all.
So what information can I give you now?
Well, even if you're not positive about all of the props, do you have a rough idea of how elaborate your set will be? Will you need lots of stairs, extra levels, or the like?
Oh, that's a good question. So far, I think the answer is no. We have a very simple set in mind. We want to focus on the content of the dialogue. It's pretty dense.
Right, I remember that from the movie. But anyway, that'll make planning easier if we don't have to worry too much about extra work to get the set ready. And, how many actors will there be altogether?
Oh, a lot. We'll have a total of 43, I think. Oh, but don't worry, there won't be more than about 20 on stage at once. In fact, there are only a few scenes with anywhere near even that many people on the same stage. Those are the scenes in the courtroom where there has to be a jury of 12 people.
Mm-hmm. This sounds like it'll be interesting. The numbers shouldn't cause a problem. The stage is definitely big enough to host that many actors at a time.
Actually, now that I think of it, I have a question for you.
Shoot.
I know that we'll need to use the real stage for rehearsals for a few days before we put on the play. So, could we use Agatha a few days before our performance dates?
Oh, naturally. You'll be able to use the stage from the Monday before the first show onward, so that should give you about 1 week. Then, on the Sunday after your last show, you'll just need to clean up and get all of your play materials out, off the stage.
That's great. We'll clean up after ourselves, no problem. Thank you so much for your help and all the information.
My pleasure. We'll speak again soon.
Till then.
Okay, guys. So the conversation might be a little bit easier to understand than the lecture. Also, if you pay attention to it, the time is less. No conversation, well, it's about 3.5 minutes. Does anyone remember how many minutes was the lecture? Around, was it more or less than 3 minutes? 3.5 minutes. What would you say? Carolina, do you remember? Are you there, guys? Please take a look to your...
I think it was, Miss? I think it was about a student who wants to apply an employee at the university, I think.
Ok. La pregunta iba un poquito más hacia el tiempo. Si se acuerdan, si la lectura bueno, la presentación del profesor, no, porque esa es conversación, ¿no? We have conversations and lectures. If the lecture was more than 3 minutes and a half, or it was less, ¿cuál de los dos es más largo? ¿La conversación o la presentación? ¿Qué dirían? ¿Sí se acuerdan? Bueno, ¿qué dices, Fabiola?
I think the lecture.
Was longer.
Yes.
Yes. It was around 5 minutes. So it's way more information to write, no? To take notes. Also, the vocabulary that they use, it might be a little bit harder to understand. So, anyways, you are always going to get 3 lectures and 2 conversations, no? But it's important that we are ready for that, no? For around 3 minutes for conversation and around 5 minutes, more or less, for the lectures. All right, but lectures are usually longer. Ok, eso es importante, chicos. Las presentaciones de los docentes son más largas. Pero, ok, if you can share, please, a picture of your note to the WhatsApp group so you can take a look to it. Mientras voy a ir pasando las preguntas, vamos a darle una revisada. Pueden ir leyendo si desean. La primera pregunta, ¿cuál es la que siempre tenemos como primera pregunta, Roger? Chicos, atentos, por favor. Roger.
Yes, Miss?
Yes. What is always the first question for the listening?
I don't remember the attitude.
No. Does anyone else remember? First type of question.
What was about?
Yeah, what is the type of question? The first type of question that we get always in the conversation or lectures. It's main idea. It's always main idea. All right. Looks good. Okay, we have numbers. Try to don't write vowels in long words. That's important. No, so you can write faster. Okay, anyone else did send their notes?
Miss, I tried to send what was right, but I don't know, my internet, I think it's a little slow, and I sent the picture, but it doesn't send.
It doesn't upload? No,
Yes.
that might be the internet. Yeah, I am not getting it. Okay, no worries. All right, so let's take a quick look in these last minutes to the questions. Okay, the first type of question is always main idea, always. So in this case, because it's a conversation, they're going to ask us, no, what are the speakers mainly discussing? No, it's not going to say professor because it was a conversation. No, what will you say, guys? If you could choose one option, which one would you choose? What are the speakers mainly discussing? Requirements for putting on place at Agatha Theatre, the content of a theatrical adaptation of A New Good Man, arrangements for an upcoming production at Agatha Theatre, or how to best adapt the story for a film for the stage. What would you say, Carolina? Which one would you choose?
Maybe the third one.
The third one, all right. It's fine, guys. We're just practicing. No, it's not like a real test, so it's fine if we don't get a correct response. It was correct. Yes, great job. So to get this question, to get the response, we have to pay attention to the beginning of the conversation or the lecture. No, in the beginning, you will get the first response, the first answer. Sorry. Okay, next question. Second type of question, it's saying, according to the student, what are some of the strengths of this production? A Few Good Men. It's asking us to choose two answers. So what would you say it's this answer? So what type of question would you say it's this? It's not main idea. It's not function because we don't get to listen this again. It's not attitude. No, it's not asking us for the speaker's attitude. So what do you say? It's inference or organization? Okay, Fabiola, which one will you choose? Which two options will you choose?
Teacher, what does mean is strengths?
What it means, what, sorry? Strengths? Fortalezas.
Okay.
Okay, so which options? It's fine if you don't know the correct one, ¿no? Al azar, puedes adivinar, no hay problema. Acuérdense, no se pueden quedar mucho, a lo mucho 30 segundos en cada pregunta.
Maybe the first one and the last one.
Okay, Roger, what do you say?
I agree with Fabiola.
First and last. Okay, let's see. Maybe the internet guys are. Let's check. Nice, all right. You're killing it, guys. Awesome. Next type of question. At what time of the year does the student say she'd like to put on the play? Carolina, what do you say? What time? Before the end of the school year, after the end of the school year, before spring break, or during spring break?
I'm not sure of this part. I think before spring break.
All right, let's take a look. It's fine. They do this all the time, so you can get confused. Great, great, excellent. So it's almost the same, no? But one word can change the question or the response, no? So it's important that you take a look. Okay, next. Fabiola. What can be inferred? No, it's easy. This inferred type of question. What can be inferred about the administrator? He wants to ensure that the student's pay is put on an Agatha theater. He has seen the movie A Few Good Men and enjoy it. He has no other weekends available in the theater after spring break, or he will work with the student in building the set for the play. It's fine if it's not correct. Just choose one option. Which one will you say? Como se dice, ¿cuál te tinca?
The second one?
The second one. All right. Let's see. All right, great job. No, a veces la lógica nos ayuda, porque no estamos viendo mucho en los detalles. A veces algunas palabras claves, por ejemplo, el nombre del teatro en este caso, o que mencione, ¿no?, algo así específico, nos puede confundir. Se hace mucho eso con las opciones, siempre. Ok, let's continue. Y hemos visto, si no estoy mal, 3, 4 preguntas. Tenemos 6 en el conversation. Okay? In this case, if we get to listen again, it's function type of question. Lo tenemos un par de minutos, vamos a escuchar. ¿Sí?
Again to part of the conversation, then answer the question.
Actually, we want, because we'd really like to present our play at Agatha, we're totally open as to the dates. Any available weekend in February or March would work.
You know, I don't hear that enough. Let's see. I think I can fit it in on the weekend of March 3rd through the 5th. How does that work?
What does the administrator mean when he says this?
You know, I don't hear that enough.
I don't hear this. He wishes there were more plays opening of the early months of the year. Agacha Theater is not a very popular location for student-run performances. Students rarely asking about opportunities to perform at the Agacha Theater, or others who ask the book at stage at the theater often have less flexible schedules. Roger, what do you say? Which is the correct?
The third one, Miss.
Students?
Yes.
Let's see. Well, it was actually the other one. Others who ask to book a stage at theater often have less flexibility schedules. All right. So no, in this case, we listen to a little extract of the conversation. No, in that case, it might help us to remember that part. No, and you can also go back and take a look to your notes if you want. Okay, so that's all, guys. Esas son las 6 preguntas. Any questions related to the listening? Okay, I hope it was clear. Van a ir practicando con Andrea. Si tienen problemas o necesitan ayuda con esto, me avisan por favor. Y la siguiente semana sería la última semana y vamos a ver el Speaking 1. Porque ustedes iniciaron con el Speaking 2, ¿no es cierto? Toda la semana vamos a ver el Speaking 1 con calma, muchos ejemplos, muchos ejercicios. Ok, so, déjenme lanzar today's polls. Por favor. Ok, entonces eso sería todo. Muchísimas gracias. Recuerden descargarse Anki, la verdad que ayuda mucho. No solo para el TOEFL en general, sino también para su nivel de inglés. Les va a ayudar bastante. En especial en listening. ¿Les llegó el poll, chicos? ¿Sí? Ok.
Yes.
Ok, muchas gracias. Falta una persona. Y le voy a sacar una foto a la lista, por favor. Ok, muchísimas gracias. Los veo el día martes. Que tengan una buena noche.
You made teacher.
Bye, Miss.
Bye, Miss. Thank you.
Take care.